Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about something that, of course, I feel very passionate about, and of course it really affects my business on a very big level, and that is marketing. And marketing, of course, being so much more to it. It seems to be something that people find very difficult to understand. It's moving very fast, and it's sometimes hard, especially as dentists or business owners, to really keep up. So if you'd like to hear more about that, I'm going to be talking about that. Let's get started. So one of the first things I really want to point out about marketing, and that is that there's really two main types of marketing that really stand out in my mind. The very first is what we call internal marketing, and of course the secondly is the external marketing. And what I mean by internal marketing, external marketing is a little bit more self-explanatory, because that's of course your website, your social media, different ways you connect with patients outside the office. But the internal marketing, one would sometimes, I feel, a lot of clinics or a lot of dentists and business owners, they really forget about internal marketing. At the end of the day, word of mouth is really our best source of new business, of new patients or new consumers coming to our clinic or our business. We sometimes forget that. We're all caught up in, telling the world what we do, and then somehow we have forgotten that it's what's happening once the patient or the consumer or the customer arrives at your business. What is happening there that really supports what they saw online, or really gives them an experience that is going to make them talk, maybe at the dinner table or somewhere with friends. And it's that talking that happens, that experience that happens when they're there, is just so crucial. One of the things I say I like to talk about this sometimes in my lectures, is that, think about yourself coming into your business in a way that you would, as if you're the patient or the consumer. Walk in the front doors of your clinic, enter the way a patient or a customer would do that. Don't just, come in through the back door every day and, expect everything's normal to you. What are the patients seeing? What are they smelling? What are they experiencing? What does your reception area look like? Is the lighting good? Are there friendly faces? Is everyone dressed nicely? What is the cleanliness of the building? There's a lot of things that, as people who already work in the building, we take that for granted, and we are not very aware of what's really happening and what that consumer is experiencing. It takes just one bad experience. Maybe the music is terrible. You've got a beautiful place and beautiful gardens and everything's clean, but when they walk in, there's this awful music playing. That, for example, is going to lead a bad memory or a bad experience for the patient. So again, just thinking about that as far as what you're saying out online in your external marketing needs to really match what you're putting, what's actually happening when they walk into your building. So really looking and talking to your team about what to keep that in mind, because it just takes that one experience to kind of ruin what you've built up online. Thing that I really wanted to talk about was external marketing, and branding and things like that are really crucial to a business today. In fact, somebody that I connected with, compared external marketing being as important as having a telephone at your reception desk. You really cannot operate a business now. People are consumers. They, first of all, in the dental industry, we always think of our patients as patients. Oh, they're just patients, they're coming for healthcare. They are consumers, and they have a consumer mindset. And a consumer mindset means they are going to research you. They are going to look on things. They're going to look at Google reviews. They're going to look at your work. They're going to analyze how good a clinic you are, or what kind of place that they're going to by your website, especially, which is why a lot of your social media should really drive back to your website, and make sure your website's good. Look at your website, update it very regularly. If you put a website out a year ago and you haven't done anything since, then you're probably already outdated. You've probably added new things to your clinic or your business, and right now you're probably a little bit behind. There's also something known as, of course, Google, which everybody has heard of, and the Google, with the way it analyzes and gives optimization to where your website falls is affected by how repeatedly or how often and how types of words and things like that your website's linked to. So again, not getting too deep into that, but that's a really important thing that people forget. Oh yeah, we have a website. Well, okay, when was your website developed? Think about that. But I was getting back to is that the social media or just sort of branding and using your clinic and talking to your patients and remembering that they are consumers is extremely important. So what interests them, and what kind of consumers do you want? What kind of patients do you want? Really think about that when you're putting posts out there. What is it you're trying to attract? What types of things information are you giving? A lot of consumers, they're looking for information. They will not make a buying decision, or they may not walk through your clinic doors until they've been exposed to you or your content or something you were saying in that content multiple times. So it's really important that you think, you put a post out about that, but maybe you need to explain it further. Maybe you need to do different ways. You need to do it on the Instagram stories or the Facebook, or maybe you need to give do a contest, or you need to get in front of the camera. These are things that we all have to become a little bit more comfortable with, or we have to find someone on our team who is, because again, we're with social media, although it's it's sort of not that face-to-face connection, people are still really looking for a connection, and they're really looking for a story, and they're going to buy or pick you because of what you represent. Or maybe you're a green friendly kind of business, and they're like, what, I shop at businesses that also support other local businesses, or I shop at businesses that go green, or for example, this week we were giving little bags out sometimes that are like our Invisalign bags. If we were giving them out, they are a plastic bag. We're no longer doing that because we don't want to promote any more plastic. And so things like that, we're making sure we tell patients, and you tell your consumers, we care about this, and what do you care about? And that really is your brand. And your brand or your logo for your business is really just sort of the promise that you make to your consumers. So it doesn't have to be a fancy logo. It can be just something. But every time they see that, it's sort of like the promise that you're making to them. And really know what you're doing when you're doing marketing. Be a little bit strategic. Think about different themes and different products and things that you're interested in promoting. But the last thing you should do is, always talk about the products. You should talk about why the products are going to help them. What is the experience they're going to have when they use them, and not just, you should have this. That no longer works. That's sort of more like what we call advertising, and people have kind of gone a little bit dull or a little bit immune to just having advertisement after advertisement. They want to know how they're going to feel. If you can create any type of marketing that helps patients feel something emotionally that they're going to connect with, then you're going to be much more likely to have a long-term patient, because they're going to remember that, they're going to talk about it, and that's really the essence of, like I say, external marketing. Some of the apps or the platforms that I use to brand myself and that I've gotten into, it's become a very personal, at first I would say passion of mine is marketing, but it's probably more like an obsession. My family will tell you this. So my obsession is, really helping people market themselves, but of course it's been born from the fact that I started a business a few years ago, and I wanted people to know who I was, and I wanted to know what I stood for, and it was really important to me, and social media has become a voice for which I can do that. I started with Facebook. Facebook was very good for me, very helpful. I built up a lot of relationships through that. I message people. I do personally thank them for liking our page. I will message them if it's a close patient, certainly will wish them happy birthday, things like that. But I will also really make sure I get back to people. So my patients will message me. It could be on a weekend, could be someone fell. They can send me a message. I will get right back to them, and that's just really important to me, that I give a level of service that's probably a little bit above and beyond maybe what other dentists are willing to do. But again, as any sort of business, you want to really, why are you different? You want to really create that value and have patients have a reason to repeatedly choose you. So make sure you do stand out again in your social media and show why you're different. So I started with Facebook. In our 1-year anniversary, we did a contest that was, we wanted a story that a patient would write in and say why they deserve to have a special, new smile or smile makeover. And of course, if anybody wants to check that out, that's also on my YouTube channel, and it's called Tori's Story, and it's the story for a smile. So we had a number of people write in, we did a large contest, and this girl, Tori, she won. It turned into something really special, and it was really something that bonded. We've done, however, tons of other little mini giveaways. We've done things like, giveaways to, community charity events, things like that. All those things are really Facebook story worthy, and those are the things you want to do on Facebook. Another platform that I really love, of course, if anybody follows me, I'm Dr. Peggy Bown on Instagram, and that is just sort of the most fun platform I think ever. The stories, I extremely love sharing my day-to-day events, things that I'm doing. That turns into sometimes like a little package story called a highlights. You can check those out on my Instagram. And there is also the main feed or the core posts that I do. And in those posts, I'm going to give a little bit more description about what I'm doing. I'm going to use hashtags. If you don't know much about hashtags, you really should. You should have clusters of hashtags that you use, different hashtag groups, and you should really be strategic about the hashtags because they are making a major impact in marketing today. I can't go into it in this video, but I do strongly recommend to not take hashtags for granted. Another platform that I recently got really excited about is LinkedIn. Of course, I do a lot of lecturing and communicating, connecting with other colleagues from all around the world, and LinkedIn really helps me kind of connect with them in another way and helps me find them and them find me, vice versa. And one of the things that I really love is that I can find other business professionals, other people who really care about either the dental industry or they want to improve themselves because they want to, definitely have a great smile and things like that. So I can really connect that way through LinkedIn. I'm currently, again, updating my LinkedIn. Do not let that slide. Make sure that your LinkedIn is what I think is called an all-star. A lady that helped me, her name is Eleanor Austin. She's awesome. Check her out on LinkedIn. She really helped me a lot with my LinkedIn. And these are, people who are experts in LinkedIn. Don't think you can just do it all on your own, and you don't have to do it all on your own. So that's what I would say about LinkedIn, but I'm really enjoying that too, and it's been a real joy. Another platform, of course, is YouTube. Here we are. We're here talking about YouTube, and I am on YouTube. It's been a dream. I've kind of joke, I always want to be a YouTuber. But what I really want to do is help change the public's perceptions of dentistry and dentists. I want to be that voice that kind of helps people understand things better and make us not look so scary. So I really hope I'm doing that, and you will like and subscribe to this channel because that really means a lot to me because it helps me fulfill my why. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any more questions, you want me to dive deeper into any of the platforms, I'd love to do that. It's, again, my obsession, so I will certainly do that. Leave me a comment below, or again, like and subscribe. I really appreciate anyone who's helping support me in fulfilling, again, my why. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time.